Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with this session, by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry titan on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Sangan Goudar. He is a leader in the banking domain with an extensive career spanning over 2.5 decades in sales, marketing, and business development. He has worked in the banking and financial services industry, excelling in areas such as retail banking, corporate banking, banking correspondent models, agri-business, and microfinance institutions. He owes his professional excellence to his strong understanding of critical business drivers and enablers, including government banking corporate relationships, trust, associations, societies, and clubs, that is, TASC accounts, banking correspondence BC setup, agri-lending, and setting up rural branches. Currently, he holds the position of SVP and Regional Manager, South Branch Banking at AU Small Finance Bank, where he has been instrumental in achieving top-line profitability and implementing effective business strategies. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Sangan.
Thank you, Sunny. One small correction, effective today. So I have joined a company, Radian Finserv, as founding member. This is an NBFC into lending business, completely a lending business. And I think when I went through the process today morning, I couldn't find that AU Small Finance, hence I didn't say in the morning. Fine. Good. Thanks a lot, and thanks for the such a wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. So to begin with, could you let our viewers know about your pursuits and achievements through your 27 years of experience to reaching your current designation?
Sunny, it's a long stint. If I were to, summarize in about 15, 20 minutes, I think it would be a good one. But yes, started in an era where there was nothing called as digitization and all those. It was like a Stone Age days. In 1994, I started my career. Started a career with a concept selling industry where there was nothing visible, and you have to sell a dream to somebody. That is how our career started. So every person who gets into a career portion, the best thing which happened to me also, from 94 to 97, about some 3.5 odd years, got into a hardcore sales, understanding the basics of sales. The turning point for me happened when I joined Citibank Shelters. Citibank Shelters in 1997-98 was a career turning point for me in my life. In these 20 years, if I had to attribute, hard work matters, but what matters most important or better than hard work is getting the right kind of mentors, which I did. I got good mentors who are currently CEOs of some of the companies, who are at a board level in a couple of banks. That is how this journey started. And a sales career is not an easy, it's not an easygoing job. It's difficult but challenging. But how do one overcome this sales challenge? Sales selling job is a disciplined approach and perseverance. 1997-98 moved to a Citibank Shelters, heading the business for them on the corporate mortgage sales to a retail mortgage sales. The next turning point for me was in 2001 when I moved to ICICI Bank, heading mortgage business in a span of say about some 5-6 years of starting my career for ICC Capital Services. I joined at the cusp of bank getting reverse merger with all the other entities. So I was on a crossroad. The crossroad was a hardcore asset guy managing asset business. I knew only to give money, and I was moved to a business to go and ask money. That's more challenging. Like, you don't want to do it, but yet you have to go and ask, "Hamare yahan pe khate khol do, open accounts with us." And customer, why should we open? There's so many banks, the Citibank, SBI. No, that was just a private bank entry into the country. And Mr. Kamath had made a huge changes in banking where it was easy available to the customers, but yet customer would not part funds banking with private sector bank, keeping their money in private sector banks. They didn't mind availing loans from private sector banks, but that was the most challenging. That is when I realized that selling a financial business is easy, but acquiring a financial business is very difficult. Once again, probably you would see me using this word discipline and perseverance more, because I come from a background where my dad served Indian Army for about 24 years. So the disciplined approach helped me to build rapport with the customers, with corporates. I was moved to a business for acquiring corporates for ICICI Bank post reverse merger. So not knowing what to speak, how to speak on the acquiring piece, had to learn that. And slowly, about 6-8 months, having learned the art, then we were like creating benchmarks in ICICI that yes, now ICICI Bank is the #1 bank even in the corporate retail lending space and acquiring space. We had corporate salary accounts of so many customers, so many corporates with ICICI Bank that changed. And what helped us in that area was going and giving something which customer would aspire to be with them, and not going and standing in the queue somewhere else. That was ATM. That was an ease those days. And today it is that you and we go to a market, we just click through QR code and we make a payment. Those days QR code was, but nobody even thought of. And in fact, ATM itself was a big game changer there. So, that started giving me a career peak. I moved as a regional sales manager. I went ahead and became a regional head for investment and advisory services, which I had never ventured earlier. And that too, a time when ICICI Bank was going for an FPO in November 2005. And I was sharing a dais with the then DMD, Mr. Nachiket Bor. I had not known what am I here for, but I knew that I'm holding a role which plays uniting all those agents who would help us get our retail FPOs subscribed and oversubscribed. Banking era is a vast one, but some of us specialize in certain things. And that is how I first specialized was on the lending space. Second thing, moved on from a lending to an acquiring customers. Third was connecting to agents who are not even your employees. They would go only where they find or they get their money. That was the space. So this helped me to connect with almost over 10,000 plus customers, right from a small time agent to a large corporate DSS, who helped us to overachieve our FPO part then. And by giving a name of ICICI, yes, it would, but we did our bit. Every state had a competition to who would contribute more, and that is where we played a role. That happened. Then post that, I was again moved back to an asset piece. The asset piece was managing the entire South zone, Andhra, the undivided Andhra, today's Andhra and Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, for a space of, again, loan against shares and securities. That is the time Infosys had given ESOPs to employees, and we had to sit in their office for about 10 days, eat, sleep, everything in their office, process their applications. What matters is what you give to the system beyond your scope of work. And that is where there are people who are monitoring you. There are people who are watching you. They'll say, yeah, this guy could have gone easily home. But there's, here doing this 24/7. We used to take bath there itself. We used to change dress in there. So we had been given one place where we can do all these things. But yet process the application from a branch within Infosys. It was more than 10,000 ICICI direct accounts had to be opened for the employees, processed, activated within 2 working days, and max was a 3 working days. Took a lot of our personal time. We were about 7-8 people who didn't even have our food those days. Like living on water and some juice here and there. So what matters to reach, if somebody has decided to progress in career and reach somewhere, it is your time which you give to the organization beyond your work timings, beyond your work schedule, what is been assigned to you, beyond your job description. You start venturing out. You start saying that, yes, I have done this, now I'll do that. It may not be your direct work sphere. But when you start taking more responsibilities and when you start delivering on those responsibilities, then the point is where people start identifying you as one of the person who would grow because of interest shown in moving into other businesses. Potential of a person matters. That is where the potential gets decided. These things helped me. In Citibank, if I have to today thank somebody, it was Mr. Munish Sharda, who is currently a president and a board member of Axis. He was also CEO for a life insurance company just before he moved into Axis. He taught us a lot in Citibank. Post moment in ICICI, I would give all my credits in ICICI by my growth path to a person by name Santosh Unikat. He was my first supervisor who made me move from an asset to a liability and made me succeed. You can do it. Yes, it is good. Somebody is enforcing a faith in you, stating you can do it. But doing it is you have those nerves. It keeps telling you, if something goes wrong, then it's a corporate world. It's a corporate world, And then that is how things started moving us. And yes, did a big job for ICICI for a span of about 14, 15 odd years. And then these titles came in then. The next moment, after having done all these things, a big space of ICICI, from that going into a very small bank, setting up a small finance bank, Jana Small Finance Bank. It was Janlakshmi Financial Services, and microfinance. And I had zero clue about microfinance. Trust me, till such time, as a banker, I would not even go to those customers here, do something for us. And neither we would lend to those customers. I was in that space. It was that opportunity was given to me by ex-mentor of ICICI Bank, who was the MD CEO for ICICI Housing Finance Company, Mr. Rahul Malik. So he took me there saying that, I have to set up banking. So you are the one person who I can trust, and you will do everything for us, right? From identifying, recruiting, and setting up and building business. Moved into that space, built a big franchise for Jana for liability piece in South India. Big space, big space with limited people. But in the bargain, as I told you, what matters is, you displaying a character beyond your job role, beyond your job function. We had joined, close about 2,000 employees had joined Jana in 2016. Liability piece did not move. Demon happened, but we set up something different. I set up with those employees, with those bank employees, we set up call center for making calls to the customer, asking them to come and make a payment. Till such time, there was no call center in the organization. Hardcore collection places played a role of connecting with the local police, recruiting the local police who had just retired at an ASI levels, got into that space without knowing the space. So these things make a difference. What is important for any person who starts a career? Days then and now, when I compare, today's days are very fast. Everything is available to you on the digital platform in your hand, everything. But still, unless and until you go to the ground and have that feel, have that experience, and say that, yes, I can do it, and I will take something extra space of mine, which is not my part, but I will deliver in that space also. You will be definitely looked after, taken care, and you will move. Because that is a potential what you show, that I am capable, I am willing to take the responsibility. And set up second small finance bank in South India, AU. Now I'm here with the new NBFC as a founding member. So this is what my journey about, what it takes, how it takes. A span of 2.5 decades or 27, 28 years old. It's a big journey. But yes, what you lose, these are all good things. There are times when you are away from family, whether you like it or don't like it. And we always say that we are doing it for family, but if you're doing it family and you're not with family, it's a pain part that everybody has to undergo, and all of us will have to undergo in our at least starting span of our career. That is what it is.
Continuing our conversation, we would like to know, you have quite a wide purview of work, including sales, marketing, and business development. So which of the roles have you found the most challenging and which the most enjoyable?
Difficult to answer, but yes, I will take this question in two parts. Sales and marketing, one piece, business development, the other piece. Sales and marketing is one thing, Sunny, if I were to tell you, it requires legwork and a hardcore legwork. How one can succeed? See, I am a sales executive. It is for those aspiring sales executives as well. You might have a digital platform today. You have everything saying that, sir, I know I'll do a WhatsApp blast. I will put status. I'll put that. I'll put this. All that is fine. But unless and until you are a person who is willing to take that extra mile, saying that I will go to the ground, I will, make an area map of my area, not the one which is available on the platform. Say, for example, if you're based out of a location, Bangalore, in Bangalore, which part of Bangalore? So currently we are in MG Road of Bangalore. MG Road surrounding 2 kilometers, lane by lane. So the sales piece is going and understanding your market first, your local market, your area of operation. If you have put a storefront there, I'm talking a branch perspective or sales executive where he can go and find his piece. So once you identify that, then visiting that time and again. I keep giving this example to the folks who just join us. Yeah, when you're in your college, when you find a girl attractive, you would not just go once and tell her, I love you, and after that it doesn't work, and you keep. No, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, and you keep approaching. So sales is that. That is your perseverance. And you have to be in an area people should notice you. I'll give a very, example. An example. This very latest example about some 5 years ago. We started banking in Jana Small Finance Bank sometime in 2018, having joined 2016. Nobody knew what Jana Small Finance Bank was. But what we did was, we said, "Ye branch ka location hai, branch ka location, there are parks where people come for a walk in the morning. Be present every day morning. You can take off in between for 2 hours. No issues." So morning 6 to 8, 8:30, you are there in the park with the organization T-shirt. People will start recognizing you. They will initially 3-4 days, they might not even engage with you. But 4th day, 5th day, when you start going and meeting them, they will say, "Hey, look, we would come to your office because we have not heard this place." That perseverance, sales is one thing which is your groundwork. And marketing in that area, again, expanding your horizon and meeting during the day the people is very critical. So sales and marketing comes as a very, 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 very tough job in the piece, the question which you asked, sales, marketing, and business development. The sales and marketing is a very, very tough job, but yes, enjoyable, provided you feel you are one person who would enjoy engaging with customers, interacting with customers. That is very critical. What you talk to the customer makes a lot of difference in your favor or against you and your organization. One part. The second part is, your prospecting in that local area activity, you're convincing a customer, then you are making a sale. See, first you are identified, you're made your presence through sales approach and all those stuff. Now you're marketing it. My bank is this, or my company is this, my product is this. So you're trying to create that interest in him. You're marketing your product. Then once the customer is convinced, then you have done the same. So sales process, marketing, convincing, sale, done. Business development, not that area alone now. Business development is a little vast. So business development is, yes, I'm in Bangalore, so I need to capture Bangalore as a market. So for that, you have this feet on street, you have grounds. For that is where a leader should go out and say, look, you work in this space, I am going a little ahead of this, and I am going to create a newer market for us. I am going to go out of this 2 kilometer radius or 3 kilometers radius or 5 kilometers radius and going to get prospects for us. Now you have started marketing, you have started developing your product, pitching that outside your comfort zone area. Today's world, people may not want to travel 5 kilometers to reach office and say, I am here to buy something. Unless it is so very attractive, like iPhones, wherever you are, you have some free stores, so people will queue up. It is something different. We are selling a financial product which is now available through NBFC, it is available through fintechs, it is available through every bank, whether it is a cooperative bank, small finance bank, nationalized banks, or a private sector bank. In that space, you are creating for yourself a market. You're doing a business development of yours. What is the difference you can give? The best difference you can give is service, which destroys if the leader is not customer centric. You and me would be using some mobile, that could be a Airtel, it can be a Vodafone, it can be something. But if I don't get the service when I walk into the store, probably today I will port it to somebody else. But in the era, when there were nobody, people used to come. But today, every corner, every street has at least about 3-4 banks, 2-3 fintechs, and 1 or 2 NBFCs here and there. It's a critical piece, business development, but done in a proper way. What spreads out by word of mouth is the service. Service. No matter they have full house, but once you go there, first and foremost, there is a person who will come and ask you for water. Basic thing. If water is kept there, you can go and have it. No. But water, if you just go and try giving them, that is a differentiation. Everybody has a water in the office. But when you go and give, the person who has come, even an irate customer, or a customer might have come from far, he might not need it. But if when you offer it, person would at least take it, grab it and say, yes, thank you. You're cooling that person down and you move. So the business development is your art of differentiation through services. That is matter, because products are same. I do a gold loan, others do a gold loan. My rate of interest might be higher, the other person might be lower. So differentiation of rate of interest, where even if I'm on a higher side of rate of interest when I'm lending, but my service to that particular customer makes a huge difference. So that happens. Today's customers are well-informed customers. When we go and properly buy dress, if I talk about my kid, you take them out and they say, Papa, मुझे Adidas ही चाहिए, और मुझे Puma ही चाहिए. At least during my childhood days, I had not seen what Adidas or what Puma was. But today they say, यही चाहिए, and the most important is they would not want to buy it from a local mall. They say that I want to visit Adidas store only. Genuinity of the product. Mall might have a duplicate product, but here they have a genuinity of the product. So you have reached out to the customer mind, even to the kids, through your marketing and product development. Say Adidas, they have done India jersey, IPL, or a cricket match, India jersey. That India jersey costs 25,000 rupees. Imagine a t-shirt which is hardly about 5,000-7,000 rupees, just because you've done a branding and you're going to put your name behind it with the number what you need. It costs 25,000 rupees plus GST. But customer segment wants only that. So today's customers are more informed. They are more informed, they have knowledge, but how do you attract is your service. A differentiation. Probably, one you would say, okay, sir, this you can just have a, go to the changing room, just wear it and see if it fits. And you can always say that this is not the one which is used by somebody, so we give it and you show that, there is a place, once I wear it and leave it, it is not owned by somebody else, but rather it goes to washing or whatever it is. So they are the difference. They will differentiate you from others. Customers come in there for you. So sales, marketing on a granular side, business development on the higher level makes a huge difference for us to reach out to the customers. It makes, you should be thinking in the shoes of the customer, yet deliver your product without compromising on your values, without compromising on customer expectation. It is challenging. And you're wearing a blazer. So that blazer, before finalizing the blazer, you probably would have seen 10 others, 15 others. And you would have, finally said, "Mere ko ye color suit hoga, ye brand ka hi suit hoga." Those things. And we do it. And you would see constantly there's one person backing up us. Sir, ye acha lagega aapko, ye latest model hai. It is annoying, but yes, we are getting fed the information. Feeding that information is also critical without annoying the customer. That is a differentiation.
Rightly said, Mr. Sangan. So building on that, you have been honored with several awards and accolades. Which of them do you regard as your best achievement and why?
Okay. Can I start in a different way?
Definitely.
There are many for that matter, but I would say that I would start with the recent one. How would you feel that if you have been meeting your choiceless cricketers, handing them an award rather than receiving an award from them? That too, and cricket is watched by, in our country, it's a game for all. We call it as cricket is a religion, God for us. So I was bestowed with handing over man of the match, man of the series awards to people like Rishabh Pant, Virat Kohli, then West Indies captain, forgetting his name, Jason Holder. These are the people where I won and given awards to them, man of the match, man of the series awards. It's a different feeling. That is a recognition what the organization has given to you as an award to go and present an award to somebody. So this I hold, and this comes only through not sticking on to your role, but going beyond your roles. This happened to me in Jana Small Finance Bank. We were part of sponsors for BCCI in the country. So all those matches, one days and test matches played in the country during 17, 18, 19 were sponsored by Jana Small Finance Bank. And I was honored in at least about 4 matches or 5 matches. I went and awarded people with the Man of the Match award, Man of the Series award, Player of the Match award. These were certain awards which were given by me to these people. That was the most honorable, and even today I cherish those moments. One. Now in my life, the first ever big award I received was in 2002 in ICICI Bank through Mr. Bachchan, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. He was a brand ambassador for ICICI Bank. I was not meeting him for the first time. As I mentioned earlier, my dad was in defense. I had met him during the shoot of Hum in Ooty. Dad was posted in Wellington, just about 20 kilometers from Ooty. So we had met him there, and we had taken those army dresses from our regiment with some of our my dad's colleagues there. So meeting him in person itself was a goosebump, but when you receive an award from such kind of a legend in public, it's different. Even today, this happened about almost 21 years. 21 years, yeah. December 2002 is when I had received my award, an award from him for being the best businessman for my business in Karnataka then. That is one thing which I cherish big time. After that, I have received award in Paris from Kapil Dev, from Boman Irani. I've met Mr. Srikanth. So, these are certain things which come to you only through what you deliver on the table to the organization. There are times when I feel people, they say, yeah, we don't get it. You don't aspire for it. You do your job, but you should go beyond your job, which matters a lot. This is one part. The second part, these are the external people where, yes, they are role models for me, they are role models for many others, but within the organization, you look up to somebody, then that somebody is your CEO. I was honored with CEO award for being the best regional head in the country in 2020, February 2020. So, that honor receiving from the man himself was completely different. In between, there have been many awards have come, gone, but these are few which I cherish. If your brand ambassador, today the brand ambassador for Bandhan Bank is Mr. Ganguly. I'm sure people are there who have probably aspired in their earlier year. Merko Ganguly Dada se lena hai. He is one guy, in England, he took his t-shirt and wrote. So that is an aggression. You call it a good or bad aggression is okay, but people aspire to meet him. And in sales, if person is not aggressive, they will not reach. Very critical. You have to be aggressive, yet have patience. Contradicting, but you aggressive and patience will somewhere have to meet the line, and you'll have to move. You get frustrated. You, me, everybody would get frustrated. But do not show that frustration. Difficult. There are people who watch you because you are a role model. People will watch you. Ye aisa kar sakta, I can do it. That is where you start drawing. So these things will definitely hold very high for me.
Absolutely amazing. So before we move ahead with our next question, I would just like to ask, who's your favorite cricketer?
Gavaskar.
Okay, Mr. Sunny.
After Gavaskar, it is Rahul David.
Okay.
And
the wall?
Yeah, the wall. Because दोनों के पास patience बहुत था. Gavaskar played for 4 days and yet scored hardly about some 50 odd runs. And the wall was such a guy that no matter how much you bounce or whatever you do, you stick on and they say, okay, ball. Let's see. It is easy to say these things. You should have patience. We're all human beings. We lose it. But when you lose it, and when you realize that you lost it, there is a calm before the storm and there's a calm after the storm. Go back, apologize to those people where it happened, and possible apologize to the people in the same forum where it happened. It will give a different value to you as a human. And that everybody has to learn. People who has to succeed in life, in corporate life or self-business, they must learn this art. Yes, I made a mistake, my apologies. Make good of that one word when you're at a senior level. Let's go have a cup of coffee. Makes a lot of difference in the life of that person. It changes your perception amongst your own peers in your team, with your team, and this spreads out. You can be bad mouth big time. Yeah, as a chilla diya, it happens. We lose. I'm not saying I'm a god. We will not, and each one of us we do. Whether it is a road rage or at office, but we will have to have this one character built in. Difficult, but not impossible. You can do it. This will definitely help you grow as a human, as a professional, both. Dono hi hota.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So moving ahead, we would like to know, have you ever felt that the banking industry needs better corporate governance?
Instead of calling corporate governance, I can say improvised way of managing manpower today. Governance, corporate governance, yes, it is. See, say for example, there was a time when a lot of things were not there. Now you find in every organization there's a POSH committee, there is that committee, there is this committee, and all those stuff. There was a point in time where it was not there. But there is also a space where you will have to understand three things in today's world in terms of governance. One is your most important stakeholder is your employee. That is how I perceive it. I'm a brand ambassador for something, and being a brand ambassador, because I hold the iCard of that organization, people would say, "Yaar, ye banda is organization ka." So if I expect the outsider to respect me, in an organization, the senior should start respecting his team members, his peers. He should be respected by them. So that is one part on the governance where you teach employees, look, it is not business which matters for us. Business comes second, but for me, your well-being is important. For me, your work ethics is important, for which I will have to spend time with you. I will have to spend time with you in terms of business, in terms of personal, in terms of workspace. When I say workspace, not in office, not in four walls. It is on the field. You start understanding people. That is where the governance. You are not going and monitoring the person. You're going and telling him, I spend a day in your life. I spend that day in your life with you. Let's go. And you don't have to change anything. This is a must for every leader, which happens but does not happen across. I'm a banker, I'm a regional head, I was a zonal head, I've set up these two institutions in South. I've managed multiple businesses in ICICI Bank. I will lose my credibility, I will lose my value in the market if I don't visit market. But that market visit of yours, in addition to your own independent visits, you have to visit with your team. Here, I would want to meet your customers. And when you go meet his customer, instead of saying, yeah, this customer had 10 potentials, you only gave him 2. Instead of saying that, sir, very good, you have 2 products. There are 3 or more. Definitely my friend would have explained to you. And he will come and do, and I do my bit of it. What happens? You explain those 8. 8 may say 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, this person would have explained. But this guy will also learn, I can tell everything one shot. I may not sell everything one shot, but I can do a knowledge dissemination to this customer. That knowledge dissemination builds your credibility in the customer. Don't push. What happens is, most of the times we find that customers are pushed for life insurance. You don't push for life insurance. You go engage with them. What I'm saying, I have displayed it on the ground. You go with the customer. They say, sir, customer, this customer is potential. So let us go meet him. Meeting him, ask him questions which probably does not give him the comfort to answer. And what are those questions? Sir, did you by any chance lose any of your good friend, a colleague, or your batchmate? If yes, why? you have your first answer. If it was through an accident, what happened after the accident? Was he having XYZ loans? What happened to those loans? Was his family made to pay? Who paid for it? When you start asking these questions, this is telling that I have a best product in the market and all this stuff. Every insurance company has it. But there is a different way of pitching it. If as a leader, see, you only get taught, you and me only learn what has been taught to us. If as a leader, I don't go to the market with my team member, if I don't address the concerns of the team on the field, then I'll be talking only the boardroom talks. For me to grow, my success I attribute to the field visit, and this I give credit to my industry mentors because they pushed us to do this. They pushed us to do this, we love to do it. It is a slightly, in the beginning, painful, but once you start doing it, then you start doing it. These things in corporate governance, somebody has to practically monitor it. This is one area of improvement, probably. Not everybody does, but not many ignore. There are people who do it religiously, and those are the people who come up. There are so many examples which I can use. Shyam Muni was one guy who joined Yes Bank, scaled big. Now today is one of heading MSME transaction banking for CSB. And that one person, I've never seen him engaging employees in a wrong tone. Never. We are peers in ICCA, but hats off to that guy. He had a different level of patience and he had a different way of working. So this, I've learned from him. We are peers, but I've learned from him. He is now a very senior guy. These things you need to learn, imbibe, practically put it to the place. That is where you are going to leave your footprints with your next gen leaders. Possible. It takes time. You need to have patience, perseverance. You have to keep pushing. But this is the way I approach. Customer also feels good. An example, 2016-17, a good friend of mine, an IPS officer, he lost his friend through an accident. And that friend had a housing loan with ICICI Bank, 65 lakhs. 10, 12 days before his death, ICICI Bank made a call stating that, sir, your housing insurance expire ho gaya, please renew it. He said, no, I don't need it. And sad, it happened on 25th December. He met with an accident, he was no more. What to do? 65 lakh loan was balanced. He had a 2-year-old kid and a wife. Had to pay the loan back. Then this IPS friend of mine called me, what can we do? I said, let me check if there is an error from our end. I was not in ICICI Bank then. I spoke to everybody. We figured out there's a call recording which came in stating that, we called him on so and so date. We requested him to renew. He did not renew. We can't help it. One example. Second example, one of our customer abroad met with an accident and expired. There again an insurance, because every debit card has an insurance, 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs depending on the card variant what you have. Customers, some of them they know, some of them they don't know. Me being a banker, it came to me, I said, check if it's been actually transacting on the card. Luckily, he had done a transaction and that validity is there. You should, then it was 1,000 rupees swipe. You have to do a 1,000 rupees swipe and keep the card active in terms of POS swipe machines. We gave him 2 lakhs. The family of the customer did not even expect the bank would do it. But sell them the right thing. Do not push it through where the person starts feeling here, starts avoiding you. But if you give him the right advice with the right examples, customer would give. That is the governance which has to have from an employee in the organization level to employee to the customer. When you call it a better governance in the banking, it has to link, because without the customer there is no bank, and without the employee also there is no bank. Without the employee there is no customer. Without the bank there is no employee and customer both. So this governance implemented down will go big. It is not alone the bank. It applies to NBFCs, whoever is in financial selling, whoever is in product selling, everybody. It applies to all. Matters. So these are certain things which to me, I would want to implement. Third part, I am not a person who would want to, do a micromanagement. No, that is not the job. If you do a micromanagement, then you don't trust your employees. Teach, be with them, visit them randomly on the field and leave it. If they are facing a problem, they should feel come back to you. They should feel like coming back to you saying that, sir, there is a problem. I'm facing this problem. Can you help me? If that space you don't give to a person, during you can call it as a bureaucracy, or you can call it as a hierarchical hazards. If you don't give that space, you would not know what exactly is happening and you lose it out. These certain things, we have to make subtle changes, which every organization talks about, many implement it, but at times there are, one or two people where it does not implement, that gets flared up and it gets very nasty. We saw very recently, on one of the employee in teams shouting at employees and all those stuff, that became a very this thing. Was it his fault? I don't say it was his fault, because some of the bankers have taught that way. Could this have been corrected if his supervisor would have attended at any given point in time while visiting the market? Yeah, tera boss call leta, main dekhta hu kaise leta. Be there, understand. Things should not have happened this way. That is the corporate governance which has to take change. That is a change which is required.
Rightly said, Mr. Sangan. So to all the future leaders, the viewers who are watching this video, 4 P's for success. First is passion, second is patience, third is perseverance, and fourth is people. Note this down and follow this and you will be successful, right? Okay, before we conclude our discussion on corporate governance, I would like to ask you, as an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
Every corporate today has implemented it in some way or the other. Is this been effective? To an extent, yes, but is it been effective to the fullest potential? No. See, banks took a stance about some 7-8 years ago. We are doing away with physical statements. Now it is only going to be e-statement. So what are we doing? Cutting off trees stopped for the banking fraternity, but your physical statement stopped. So you saved the papers, you saved the trees. Having said, what did you do then next? You started sending customers emails, and there are customers who again took that printout, kept it with them. If you tell that customer, look, you want this statement, you want the statement for the last 10 years, 12 years. Today we have an important thing, cloud. We will store it for you. You have to enter your account number, you have to enter your PIN, and you can download. If something on this can be done by majority of these corporates, I'm talking about banks, all kinds of banks, PSU, private, cooperative banks, fintechs, SEBIs, and all those stuff. I think we can have an actual savings then. Mr. Sunny needs a statement of 1996 or 2005 or 2008. So he need not have to worry. He will say that, look, bank has given me this access. I enter there, I go, I see, I download it, and it is my system. So you're not getting into a e-wastage. You're not getting into a physical wastage, and you're. So there's one big space which definitely I would like to implement to my customers. This one part. The second part, similarly with employee. Today, what are we doing? We are telling them that कि आओ sign करो या फिर biometric डालो. मेरे को biometric नहीं चाहिए. आपके मोबाइल में मैंने एक ऐप दे दिया. आप उधर sign in, उधर बटन दबा देना. मेरा सिस्टम ले लेगा पीछे. Many of them have implemented, but few of the banks are to implement. Larger banks implement. It's good. Visiting card. When we go meet, people give that. I'm not saying that we should do away with visiting card. No, we can't, because in this country we can't. Why we can't? When I go to meet any minister as my role for the company or as an individual, the guy who's standing outside first says, "Sir, aap apna card dena andar." I don't know if you've experienced it, but I'm talking about my experience. Only when you give the card, that guy goes there inside, "Sir, this guy has come to meet you," and that then depends when that person calls you. But for rest others, you just have an e-card. I meet you, I take your number, I just put my number and I say, "I've sent you my e-card," and you have all details there in that card. What happens again? Thick paper, small one, but it still takes the tree, life of a tree. You save it. Fintechs following it. Fintechs, there are so many fintechs who have come out with this e-card facility. One of my friends has recently developed an app. He says that now I will do a campus placement without visiting campus. It needs vast. First and foremost, it's an experiment. Second, it needs vast database to be accumulated somewhere. There is no physical code. World is evolving, and what would it help? People like you, me would travel to that college. Emission, petrol, accommodation, you're spending, and emission is getting emitted. All these things can be reduced if this happens. You wear that, you get into VR, and you feel the virtual reality there. Similarly, this campus recruitment is also going to be in all that space. That is just getting evolved. It is being developed to an extent where he is testing it in a couple of places, and India is going to be the huge market for it. India is going to be a huge market for him. So, as a ESG specialist, these things I would want to implement in the corporate side. On the social sector, in our own surroundings, even today, we talk about, Clean India. We all speak. Our Prime Minister spoke about it, and the revolution started, whatever started. But whether it is a continuous process, no, it is not. It is not. Corporate like you and me should own. What do we own? We don't have to own the entire ecosystem. We need to own the ecosystem in मेरा ऑफिस है, मेरे ऑफिस के 1 किलोमीटर इस साइड में 1 किलोमीटर इस साइड में सफाई अगर मेरा रिस्पांसिबिलिटी में ले लेता हूँ, if I take that responsibility for myself, then looking at you, there will be 2 or 3 more the fintechs or whichever the space you are in. They will say, "Yeah, they are doing it, we can do it." You create a goodwill brand amongst your neighbors. My commitment through Radian, you can see the background here, through Radian, this would get implemented surrounding my branches, wherever we open and wherever we are. It's something to the society. You may not be going and giving them money, or you may not be going and giving them food grains. This thing can be done. Every office of us have a office sub staff. We say, "Yaar, ye thoda dekh lena, paper nahi hona chahiye." During the day, 2 times or 3 times you just go and have a look. Sufficient. People would say, "There is local municipal corporation," they would do it. They do larger things. Now today they come to our house to pick up those garbage and all those stuff. Earlier it was not there. People used to throw. Even today I see people throwing it. But if this can be eliminated, a small area where we are, we educate them. Look, at this time it is going to come. Do not throw it there. Keep it. They will come, and introduce them, reintroduce them. Things will change. This is what every person, as a human being, as a corporate, we should look at implementing in our own sphere of circle. The circle where we can influence. ये करना जरूरी है.
Exactly. So not only just the leaders, but also every human being should feel as its own his responsibility to do his bit for the nature and sustainability. And also, since we were talking about the technology, so here is my next for you. What are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology? And what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, Web 3.0? And how do you envisage the future of finance industry with this change?
Okay. Sunny, I would not like to ask you about you or your age, but I would definitely ask you to, just recall your childhood days or probably you can check with your parents. There was a time when to go to a bank and withdraw your own money, you had to go after 10 till 1 o'clock, 1 to 2 or 1 to 2:30 was a break for them. Then they will open up at 2 or 2:30, 1 hour. After that, the bank is closed. Your own money, those days no ATM as well. And see the technology, the way it has evolved. From physical banking to digital banking. Physical banking, digital banking, physical banking. The changes has helped in good, it has helped in good. Does it has a flaw? It has a flaw. Physical banking also had a flaw, this also has a flaw. But do we overcome? We overcome. Is it good? It is good. Now to talk about today, when an RBI can accept a signing of documents through a DSA, we have this e-signatures. Why can't as a bank, I accept it? This change has started. Okay. We used to issue checks not very far, hardly about 7-8 years ago. Today, do we do that? Even banks, for the matter of fact, when we lend, we don't even take those security PDCs. Changed. There's nothing physical. Internet of Things happened. Today you get into system, artificial intelligence. You would just type your name. It will probably throw up what all you have done, or you're finding out something. It will probably throw up you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the options. This could be the best option, or you choose some option. This might be not be a better option, but still you would like to go, you can go. So it is throwing up your direct answers. You're not reinventing something, or you might build upon that. This is one part. The second part, you've seen the chatbots when you get into any of the system. Most of your work gets done through chatbots. Most of your work gets done through chatbots. Banking era, or there are fintechs which are coming like Rupik. Rupik started, a gold loan, you don't have to come to, you don't have to come to my office. I'll come to your home. Does an employee go? No. They have appointed certain people because it's a gold, and that is taken, logged in front of the customer, sealed it. It goes to the nearest bank branch where they have a tie-up. They close it. What the customer got the convenience of not taking physical gold to the bank, but it has been happening in his home. Big change. Did we envisage this change about a decade ago? No, we didn't. Now, there has to be some connecting tool. In India, the connecting tool today is Aadhaar. Your PAN is linked, your Aadhaar is linked. Now you go anywhere. You are in X location, you want a loan, you don't have to be in that location. Earlier it used to be like that, you should have a home here, you should have this here, you should have that there. So some 10 list. Now you are in X location, you are going into Y location, you all of a sudden need a loan. You go there, say that I need this loan, and loans also get processed within 5 to 7 minutes of time because Aadhaar is linked, PAN is linked. They approach, systems throws a score, and bank credits your account. What did you do? You have done only a digital signature. You have not signed a single paper. Look at the changes what these tools have done to the financial world and the way the financial worlds have moved. I'm sure you are aware. iPhone, the most haunted phone across country. It used to release in USA and it used to take 6 months to get released in India. 3 to 6 months. Hota tha, nahi hota tha. It used to happen.
Absolutely, yes.
The iPhone releases there and we have here next day. Technology transfer is just seamless. It is, you call it as Make in India or whatever you call it as. But technology is so seamless, you don't have to wait for it. So technology plays a very crucial role. Going forward, we will see, we have started already. There are virtual cards. I don't know if you use it. Cred is one of them. It doesn't have a physical card. One card has come. It's just a virtual card. You route your transaction, it accumulates your history, everything it will throw. Do you want this? Do you want that? Or you can do this. And basis your credit history, it will say, we offer you a discount of 10%, we offer you a discount of 15%. Whatever they've been running on that. Your behavioral pattern on the platforms, you take any platform, you take Flipkart, you take Amazon, you take Blinkit, you take any platform. Basis that will throw. Say, for example, your friends are coming to your home, you want to have a party at home, and you just enter. You don't go to Swiggy or Zomato, but you say that I'm getting into pizza. That guy will throw you 10 things. Last time you ordered this, would you want to reorder that? See, these are artificial intelligence. Did we envisage this? Sometimes we didn't. So, does it have a flaw? It has a flaw. Can a human being be more careful? Yes. Will all these overtake human beings? No, it won't. My terminology, I call human being to be a superficial intelligence. AI, but we are superficial. AI does what we have fed into it. But who is feeding into it? People like you and me are feeding into it. So human intelligence will always be higher. This artificial intelligence is going to help lot of human beings, average, above average, below average, to make a quick decision, to get data faster, and to probably teach the younger generations or the older generations. Today, literally, my parents, if they have been on WhatsApp today, we have taught them. But that again takes a patience. You have to tell them, yeah, forget after downloading, yeah, click karna, this is how you have to send and all those stuff. But technology has taken our good hard work. We used to have a fixed landline. Today we have handphone. So technology has done good to the world, but we should be very judicious. The discarding of these certain things probably is yet or in evolving stage or yet to evolve. So that is a challenge which at least I foresee.
That was so insightful of you, Mr. Sangan. Before we conclude the session, one last question to you. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole team of WDC?
What they have been doing is fantastic. Probably people had not thought about it. Yes, there's another innovation. The team is fabulous. Team is just fabulous. And most important, they are approachable. What is important, what I was talking about, supervisor being approachable by the team. They are available. You make the person self-belonging. These people, once again, trust me, hats off to these people, what they have been doing. And the patience of Mr. Pathan through those sessions, what I've seen or learned is amazing. The persistent level of his energy, hats off to that man. So what else can I say? Well, being honored to be part of the institute, and would definitely look forward for many such innovations which they are coming out with newer areas, and personally would want to meet them someday. That's all I can say about that. Because see, I can just say thank you. No, it is not. It is a thankless job. What they have done, what our teachers have done to us, what our professors have done, we cannot thank them. No, the entire life. See, it's not a mere certificate. It's the way you build, the way you design curriculum, the way you go back and seek feedback. You might feel it is good, you might feel it, but the other person is giving you feedback, maybe you have to do an improvement. Taking that, whether it is in spirit or with a pinch of salt, the way the people have done is fabulous. hats off to these guys.
Great, great. So it was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you, Mr. Sangan, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Thank you, sir. I wish them all the very best. And as I said, I would personally want to meet the team in person.